For today's shave, I'm going to use my Boar brush. This is Whipped Dog 24 millimeter knot. And I like to soak it in a cup like this. A little bit of water. My water is hard and it's likely going to be pretty cool since we're getting into winter. We're going to keep using my Gillette Nacet blade. So today makes 79. Today will be use number 79. And here's the old man. We're going to put him in the dart. Blackland dart. This is the machined finish. It's not quite meant to look all finished. You know, some of the steel tooling marks and things like that are intentionally left on there, and that will save the user about like 40 bucks or something like that, in addition to the fact some people might just like that look. So we just put the blade on the top cap like that. I think this base plate's just nice and elegant and gorgeous on this model razor. Polished version just came out. You can, I mean, this is solid stainless steel, so you can actually polish this as well. Nice thing about the machine finish, though, it also has just kind of micro, because it wasn't polished, the micro marks. You can't see them really, but you can feel them, because even when soapy and wet, the handle just is, it still has a very good grip. Today's soap is a new one that I haven't tried yet. And it's German, Klar Seifen, and this is the Klassic version. And I think this means shaving soap, but I'm not sure. This is a one that has been around in Germany for a very long time. Guys have grown up seeing their dads use it, you know, that sort of thing. Did it have the date? Oh yeah. 1840. How about that? And this Klassic has a great scent. It's a hard puck, and when it's new, it just pops right out of the tin. It's kind of a little chintzy tin, and it's small. Often you have to pay $30 for this, and so if I were to get this and have it be 30 bucks, I would look at this small tin and kind of feel a little ripped off. But it is a hard puck and it'll last a long time. I would also probably get it off eBay. I think I found it for 22 on eBay, or I saw it there, and then I came across somebody who had it and hadn't used it yet and just wanted to sell it, and so I bought it from them for even less than that. So really happy about that. But 30 bucks, I don't think I'd do that. All right. I'm going to put a little water on top of that, since it is a hard soap. The American soaps, like Barrister and Man, and you know, all those cropes that aren't actually hard soaps, you don't need to bloom those at all. This guy, I'm going to bloom him just a little bit to kind of speed up lathering. So we've got the blade in there, and I think we're ready to go. I'm going to just splash my face a little bit. And there we go. Let's just see. This is going to be messy because there's no room to load in the little tub here. And so what I'm going to do is kind of sling most of the water out of my brush and just see if a kind of a damp brush method is going to work for this guy. And so let's load for just 30 seconds and see what happens. We'll wait until we hit the 30 mark on the video. It'll be easy to know when to stop. All right. It's looking like it, you know, starting to work and build up and all that stuff. 5 seconds or so. And there we go, 30-second load. Doesn't look like much. Just kind of collect up the suds here. Yep, my water is cold. We'll just see if 30 seconds is enough. All right, so I'm gonna take this guy right to the dry bowl. Let's just see what happens to the lather. Staying pretty dry, that's normal, that's all right. We're going to start my usual method of adding about, you know what, let's start with 1 teaspoon because we know that a good lather is going to take that. Maybe. Yeah, nice scent coming up from that. Another half teaspoon in. As always, if I didn't happen to load for long enough, I can go back to the puck if need be. Hard to tell at this point whether I have enough or not. It's not coming together quickly. But it's not super dense. Got a nice sheen on it though. My guess is that I need a little bit more time on the puck. So let's go ahead and do that. Little boar hair. Okay, let's do another just 20. Oh, 40 is right there. So let's do it for 20 more seconds. I'm gonna put it down here. That way, if any of the glops fall, they'll fall in the bowl. And there's 20 seconds. And let's add a little bit more water. That's looking better. If I'd have bloomed it for longer, turns out I only bloomed it for just a minute or two before I loaded the brush, so it wasn't really a constructive bloom to much of a degree. So I could probably reduce load time if I bloomed it for longer. Good, nice, just a general scent coming up. Manly, typical shaving, type scent. I enjoy it. So there we go. That's looking a little bit more like it. Now I've added 2 teaspoons of water. I'm going to refill the syringe. Add another half teaspoon and that might be it. Smells good. Looking pretty good. Let's look at the another brush fiber. Trying to look at the peaks there, kind of short and firm. Sometimes that means you need to keep going with the water. We'll get a little bit better mix there. Go ahead and shave with this and see what happens. Yeah, because we can always add a little bit of water in just a minute if it turns out to be too thick. One more splash of water. And that is cold. Cold water can do, if you haven't really followed me very much, cold water can do some pretty good things for your shave. It can reduce inflammation, especially when you do a cold water rinse after a pass. It can really help with inflammation. It can, hot, this is looking great by the way. A hot lather, a hot water will kind of inflame your skin a little bit. Oh yeah, this is a little on the thick side. So I am going to add a little bit more to the lather here. A little bit more water to the bowl here. And a little bit to the brush. Yeah, nice soap. Good scent. Feels really, feels good on the face. Creamy, comfortable. Very nice. Scent strength, kind of feeling like it's a 3 or a 4 while lathering. That's nice. I don't want it to get too much less than that. Grab up some of this soap and save it for the other pass. All right. Feeling good. The Dart is a razor that when I actually started out with this blade, so this is the 79th use of this blade, and it was around in August when I decided to just see how long I could go on one blade. And it turns out that it was a great razor to do that with, because when you take razors this far, you usually end up needing more aggressive razors to do it as the edge geometry changes on your blade. And so this is, to me, it feels about like a 7 out of 10 in terms of aggression. Soap rinses easily away. So that's a good sign it's not too thick anymore. I'm going to rinse this off. All right, pass number 2. I like this lather. Slick. Feels good on my face. Nice scent to it. Came together pretty quickly. So this is a 50-second load, as it turns out, on a puck that was soaked, but only for a very short time. Yeah, I can see why this soap's been around for a long time. And you know, $30 may actually be a reasonable price because it's a hard puck. It may just deliver tons and tons of shaves. See, that's the thing. If it lasts twice as long as a $15 soap, then that's actually a reasonable price, right? I like the hard pucks because you can just, they're not going to go bad in your lifetime. I mentioned this was a 7 in terms of aggression to me. When I go the second pass and third, historically, I've had to bring the handle in just a little bit to calm the aggression level down to about maybe a 5. And I think that's really special about this razor because it's like a dynamic, automatic adjustable razor. You just vary your pressure, you vary your angle of your handle, and it instantly changes the aggression. Now I may actually have to open it up more than I did before. In the early days of this blade's life, because it needs more aggression now, more of an aggressive attitude. Nice shave. I do, as always, I do feel the blade. But it's just a nice, clean cut. Not too much difference. Actually, in the feel of this now than, you know, back in the early days of it. So tomorrow I'd hit 80 uses. How about that? Oh, let me rinse. So actually I could walk away right now. This is a good shave. Happy with that. You know, it's just a little length there on the neck trouble area, but nice shave. Let's get up. So I'm going to end up with more lather than I need. Let's just, and it looks terrific. It does have a few little bubbles in there, but I'm just not concerned about that at all. Looks like it's properly hydrated. Haven't used this Boar in a little while. Third pass. This Boar is working well, comfortable. I mean, it's a little wiry. I mean, you can't compare it to like a silver tip Badger or something like that. But it feels very good. Wouldn't have a problem using this Boar for, you know, the rest of my life. Good one. Nice lather, just tons of, and it feels good. Keeping it at the usual 30-degree setting with this razor. was just too much aggression for me back when the blade was new. Too much aggression for the latter passes where my skin's already been worked over a couple of times. And so in the early days, before I discovered that I could bring the handle in, I was thinking, I'm going to have to find a new home for this razor. And right here in this patch, this is a cross grain pattern. Right here is really sensitive. I have to come at it at the right angle. A little bit of stretching, not much. Just to keep the skin taut. That looks really good. This may be one of my better razors for this period of this blade's life. Gonna rinse. All right, feeling good. So this puck is narrow and tall. And so I think it lends itself to traveling. Fit in a DOP kit pretty well. It doesn't have a ton of cushion, but as long as it's got a little bit, then it'll give you a great shave. And it's got plenty for that. And I think that's kind of what some of these hard soaps, that's just their nature, because you know, they're not like the croaks that have the like jojoba oil or, you know, different butters and oils. To help with, you know, nourishing skin and things like that. All right. Oh, that's a good shave. Very nice. Not having to do that fourth touch up like I did yesterday with the Fat Boy. So this geometry just of this dart works better than the adjustable. You know, adjustables aren't the answer for everything. But this geometry just works better for this aging blade. You know. All right, I'm gonna rinse this off. As far as cold water goes, and this has been a refreshing, invigorating shave. Not exactly something I usually want at the end of my day, but another cool thing about cold water shaves, in addition to you not having to wait for the hot to come to your faucet, is that I believe the theory is that here's the surface of your skin and you've got hairs coming out. If you take that hot towel and press it on your face, it feels great, and that lather, that warm lather, feels great, but the skin puffs up a little bit because of the inflammation that heat brings. Inflammation to a small degree, but still, we're talking on a kind of a micro level here, to a small degree. The skin raises up and puffs up a little bit. That can then, if the skin's more puffy, sometimes it can become more irritated because the razor kind of scrapes at it a little bit more when the skin is more flat with cold water. Then I think sometimes that helps to prevent irritation, just because it's not, it's a smoother surface, a lower surface. In addition to being cold, letting the skin be at its normal position instead of the inflated because of the heat, more of the hair is exposed. And cold also can, a lot of hot can make hairs be limp. But if the skin is kind of puckering because of the coldness, it's making the hair stand up a little better. I think that can help it to be cut better. But also if the skin's, here's inflamed skin, not inflamed skin. And so when that blade goes over, it's able to cut at a lower height. And so then when you cut with hot, by the time the skin settles down, then maybe you'll have a little bit more stubble. It'd be interesting to, if somebody could do a test or something, try to figure that out for sure, if that's true, but it seems right in theory. But I definitely know that a lot of people have experienced more comfortable shaves and less irritation by switching to cold water or cool water, just not hot, not warm. And it helps with the inflammation and better shaves. Not always, but it's something to try if you're experiencing those problems. So I'm done. My face feels great. No post-shave used. I think I could probably get away with not using any. I have oily skin, so that helps. But I don't even see any redness. Okay, just a tiny, tiny bit right here, but that is very typical for me. I don't even feel it. Definitely no bleeders or anything like that. I don't see any irritation at all. I don't feel any. So very cool. How much water did I use up this time? So for that 50-second load, it took about 3 1/3 teaspoons of water. Obviously, your load time is going to vary because of the brush. The Boar brushes are a little bit often a little bit stiffer, but if you've got a scritchier, stiffer brush than this, you can probably get away with less load time. If you have a big old soft brush, that's going to change as well. Really just nice. And I have tons of lather left over. So, who knows, maybe if I would have just kept going, that 30-second load would have been just fine. Maybe just try that again, keep trying that next time. So just tons, a couple of passes at least. Very nice. It's not super dense, but sometimes a lot of times you don't want super dense. You want it to be a little thin so that it bonds to your face really well and gives you the protection and slickness. I had no drag problems whatsoever with the blade, with the razor. Really a very nice lather. I'm very happy now that I tried this soap. I read some good reviews. It's a hard soap, and I really am a big fan of the hard soaps. All right, so let's clean up. I rinsed off the sides of the tin here, and I can just seal that guy right back up. If you're a fanatic about thinking that mold's going to develop, you can unseal it and leave it open for a day or whatever you want to do. And I'm just going to keep cleaning. Oh, let me pick out my post-shave here. So I do feel a level 1 irritation out of 10, kind of in my neck area here. And I'm wanting to use up my supply of this Nivea Sensitive. I think I'm realized that I'd like to move on to the original, which has a little bit of alcohol in it. And I really like that because of my oily skin. So, and this, I think the scent on this is kind of a generic manly scent. I think it probably will go well with the Klar. Yep, very nice. So this scent might have been on the lower registers for me in terms of the strength of it, but it was present during the shave, and it's an easygoing scent, and so to me that lends itself to more of a lower strength, and it does participate with you as you're working around. You don't lose it, and you don't all of a sudden feel like I'm shaving with an unscented soap, and so I'm really happy with that. Sure, wouldn't mind if it's a little stronger, but it's at a good strength for me, just inside my kind of level of preference. So I'm happy with the scent strength. Yeah, so the shave result, that was a better shave than yesterday, and the last couple days actually. This may be my best razor for using this older blade. Really, I think I'm getting the best results, and this is also how I know that I'm not getting used to a decline in quality as this blade ages, because it's cut flush. I mean, that's just a standard. I can't see I mean, there may be one tip that's there somewhere that has a little bit of length on it, but I couldn't really find it. And so if it's that hard to find, I'm good with that. So, so the quality is still there, and I did not have to do another touch-up pass. So that's a good razor for this blade. For my face, it might not work well for you. And things are just subjective that way. But this is a very good combination for me where this blade is right now. Really glad that I revisited the Dart. Reminded me what a good shave it was giving me, and it continues to be one of the best razors I have for this age of this blade. The blade also surprised me. I thought it was at a different level of quality, but it's not. It was just the razors I was using before, maybe my technique, but working great. It's a good blade, for me at least. Super happy with the soap. I'd been looking forward to trying that for a while. I had good reviews, read good reviews online, and so a good hard soap. It's going to last a really long time. Very, very pleased with the lather it gave, and I think we're good. No irritation or anything like that. Just a little bit down here, kind of where I mentioned before, but it'll be gone very soon. All right, I think we're good. I hope there was something here for you. Take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Good night.